Aquila's already here with. I forgot there was this Norwegian guy I sometimes watch. That's pretty rough. Have you forgotten all about me? Muted? I don't think so. But maybe something's wrong with the microphone again. Desktop audio? Oh. I wonder I wonder how bad is the microphone on my webcam? At least you can hear me. Is that like the emergency solution or are we gonna try to I remember my microphone not working. This is weird. And now it's suddenly working or what? I don't fully understand if this is my normal microphone now or if it's my webcam microphone. But at least it's working. We'll do this. I did switch back perpetual because I want my normal microphone to work, but if we can't have that, we have a backup solution at least. Island and Flo, thank you so much for your resubs. See, they haven't forgotten about me, Aquila. It's not the wrong input, Aquila. There's something wrong with the microphone. And I recall there being something wrong, kind of like the last time I traveled as well. But I don't fully remember how I fixed it. I remember it being a pretty easy fix, but I don't remember what the fix was. And I remember that the fix shouldn't have been needed at all. It's very annoying when stuff doesn't work that's supposed to work. It's the same USB port as always, Ryata man. I'm not sure why you guys are doing the tech support. when you don't know the circumstances. I'm explaining to you that this has happened before and that it's the same as it's always been on my end, which makes sense because I've been traveling for 2.5 weeks. I haven't touched anything. Overlapping with Christoph, yeah, for 30 minutes perpetual, and then we'll have 1.5 hours on our own. I'm the rogue chess 24 guy. I stream whenever I feel like I'm to feel like streaming. But we're avoiding the clash with the Pro Chess League, so we'll do just a short stream today. Last time you switched to OBS? Nah, that was when I was having problems with my webcam. So how you guys doing? What do you think about the Tata Steel tournament? Have you guys been following it? Fabiano is looking pretty strong, I would say. I mean, I'm supposed to be the chess expert, but I'm not sure you need any expertise to suggest that I think Fabiano is gonna win the candidates. Been watching you guys on TV too. Ah, that's very nice, CV. Thank you so much. We need all the viewers we can get. Magnus retire? I That might be premature, Flo. That might be a bit too soon. Magnus was actually saying in the interviews we had with him in Norwegian that he looked forward to that if it was Fabiano, he looked forward to having another opportunity to actually beat him in a game during a world championship match. I mean, Magnus' strategy of just making draws and then winning the rapids was very, very good. But it seemed as though he also felt like a win in the regular time control games was lacking. Chigas with the 11-month resub. Thank you so much, Chigas. Magnus very cautious about not losing his streak. I don't fully agree with that, Cyrus. I think Magnus played pretty good chess. Um, I'm not really sure he did anything wrong. I thought Magnus had a okay result. Um, of course, he shouldn't end up a pawn down against Jordan. There were some strange moments like that, but overall, I think he did pretty well. I don't think he played passively, which is what kind of your comment suggests, right? That he was not taking risks. I think he was just playing pretty normal games. We need the story behind the fried liver attack line Jordan played against Magnus. Yeah, well, I mean, I'm not sure I have the full story, Hyata man. But yeah, one of the Norwegian youngsters, Johann Sebastian, a favorite of Aquila's, he was a second for Jordan during the tournament, and I mean Jordan and finished fourth overall. He managed to keep his performance up for the entirety of the tournament. That was amazing. He gained like 30 rating points. Hands off to him. And yeah, Magnus just ran into some prep. He didn't have many chances to show off. Sean kind of outplayed him, g6 against Duda. Let's see, let's try to remember this. So Sean, which game was that? The Sean game? Was Magnus white or black? My memory is so bad. It's really embarrassing. I recently I've started wondering whether my poor chess play the last like couple of months is due to something being wrong with my head. I have now officially started to think about maybe that I have like a brain tumor and it's affecting my chess playing abilities. What happened against Sean? Remind me. G6 against Duda? Duda was one of the last games, no? I should be able to remember something that happened 3 days ago. Duda, Duda. Everybody sing the song. Oh, Duda Day. G6 against Duda. Oh, G6. No, the G6 move was. Are you complaining about Magnus? G6 against Duda was weird. G6 was a pawn sacrifice, making the position insanely complicated in an attempt to win it. I don't know. I don't think you can say that Magnus was playing passively and then point out a pawn sacrifice as one of the weird things he did. The G6 stuff was really aggressive. If Magnus doesn't use Johann Sebastian as a second in 2020, he's done for. I don't think I don't think that's entirely true, Aquila. Because the thing is, Magnus, what he looks for in preparation is very, very different to what Johann Sebastian is good at. So I mean, I'm not saying that Magnus is not going to use Johann Sebastian, but I am saying that kind of what Magnus is looking for in openings is very, very different from what Johann Sebastian has kind of um, shown for Jordan this tournament. Because what they've done is go into very forcing, creative, attacking lines with big complications, which is pretty much the exact opposite to what Magnus is looking for in a chess game. It wasn't the best move. It was a pretty good move, though, Fool. It's a pretty good move. How was your tournament, Cyrad? I did play a tournament in before going to Bergen to do commentary, and it was the worst thing ever. I lost 3 games. I lost 2 games against opponents I really should beat early on, and then I managed to claw back into a chance of getting a prize, winning the last game. And in the last game, I was up a piece in an end game and still lost. Which, which is why I've started thinking about whether I have brain tumors or something else. Because I'm a grandmaster, I shouldn't be losing games with a piece up in end games. Yeah, it did end in draws, full, but it happens. It's chess. Chess games does have a tendency to end in draws. Hey, Halvard. Hey, Don. How are you doing? I brought my streaming equipment to Bergen where I was doing commentary on the Tata Steel tournament, but I wasn't feeling it. And this is I don't know if you can call it a philosophy of mine, but very often when I feel like, oh, I don't really want to do that, I just don't do it. And some may call it lack of discipline, and maybe it is, but at the same time, it's done me pretty well over the years. Because when I am motivated, I will go above and beyond. The problem is when I'm not motivated, such as not streaming these last 2 weeks, but also not really looking at chess openings for the last 3 years. So I think it creates bigger ups and downs than what you would have if you were being disciplined, but at the same time, you don't grow sick of stuff in the same way. Miserable Hammer made you big on Twitch. Yeah, that's the only thing, Flo. No curls, no skills. Perpetual, I had a haircut this morning. I got out of bed and I thought, I'm going to do something with my day today. So I'm going to start out by going to the hairdresser, partly just so that I'm outside and my day starts quicker than it normally would. That I freshen, get ready. Looks good. Well, thank you, Harksy. I think it's a bit too short for me, but it's fine because in a week it's going to have grown out so much. And then it's going to be okay. Okay, I think maybe let's play some chess games. Let's see if I can still do this thing. Classic WoW. Teeny TC, I have never played World of Warcraft. Shocking, I know, but yeah. Haven't been there, haven't done that, and therefore don't have an opinion on it. Oh yeah, Hobart, I saw that tournament. 100 games. That's a bit much, I feel. 100 game tournament. That's pretty sick. Don't I commented on Tata Steel on Norwegian television, a special sports channel called TV2 Sport 2. Riata man, thank you so much for the Twitch Prime resub. Okay, let's play some games. Let's play some games. First up is UVigo. And UVigo is going down because I have my new special brilliant opening. Wouldn't have the time with all the chess knowledge you have. I don't know if that's true, TC, because I have spent so much time on stupid games over the years. Um, but yeah, World of Warcraft. I'm not that big on like fantasy and science fiction stuff like that. Hey, Pizza Racer, how are you doing? Ah, that's sweet, Halvard. 8-1. That's pretty solid. Any other symptoms? No, Cyrat. The only thing is playing bad chess. But seeing as how I'm such a good chess player, I thought the level at which I've been playing lately, brain tumor is the only possible explanation. Botas Gambit unsuccessful? Wow, was there an attempt? I missed it. Shame on me. Nice performance versus France. Are you a fan of the French team, Bobby Fischer? Because I was being very generous to those guys. Oh my gosh. This is one of the reasons I'm unhappy about my chess playing the last couple of weeks. I had winning positions in 3 games against the French team in Pro Chess League. And I ended up getting fewer points than I deserved. Scored half a point from 3 winning positions. That's pretty sick. Wow, look at this. People are just giving away their stuff for free. No respect whatsoever. I guess we take it and see what happens. I'm having some tea, Don. Just the usual. Uh-oh. I just discovered that he's threatening knight f3, which is actually a bit of an unpleasant threat. Let's play this pawn to prevent that. Why not take and then g3? Well, I thought queen h6 would lead to a situation where it's fairly likely I would get checkmated. So I decided not to do that. I just allowed knight f3. Probably not the greatest move ever. Okay, I'm losing on time. But on the board, I feel like I'm doing okay-ish. Let's just sacrifice. Maybe he'll make a mistake. We'll get stressed out. Was that popular, Bergen? Oh, this is not great. I guess it's a draw at least, going back and forth. Okay, I was considering flagging him, but I made the decision too late. Oh, really, Ryataman? You predicted my sacrifice? That's pretty bold of you. Normally, I don't sacrifice at all, but I was slightly tilted, and I thought we need to win all our games, so I'll just sacrifice. It didn't turn out very well. Hey, Krishna, how you doing? Got cause? I think I was down a piece against Emmanuel Berg. But we ended up losing that match anyway, since I lost my last 2 games from winning positions. Basically, the entire Pro Chess League season so far for me has been get winning position, lose. So it's not something I really want to talk too much about. Captain of the Gnomes, clearly not as good as his predecessor. Yeah, Nisha. That's probably the only different thing about this season. New captain, not nearly as good as me. Probably has nothing to do with no longer there not being a average rating anymore. I haven't really read up on the rules, but I suspect that I think there's like only one team that goes to the final from each division. And France is just so much better than all the other teams, so it's not really that interesting. That's my problem with it. I'm not as concentrated, partly because this like preseason doesn't matter at all because everyone knows France is gonna win. But I don't know. Maybe it's gonna be better next year. Jonathan Tisdal is the captain, Fiataman. Wow, Nisha, did I give up a bishop for a knight? How dare I? I even did so in this last game we had. Nicola, thank you so much for the tier 3 9-month resub. Thank you so much, Nicola. Bongubabu, you're up. Make a move, sir. Sounds like your games. Honestly, random moves, that's basically how chess works in every scenario. You get a good position and then you end up losing anyway. Chess is a mean game. Do you prefer the new faster time control? No, Nisha. I'm not that quick. I also found it much more difficult to concentrate on the Pro Chess League games when I'm not streaming, which is weird. Somehow streaming gives you like I don't know how to explain it, but knowing that people are actively watching you makes you concentrate better somehow, I feel. It's weird. The Ottoman playing the French? You're right, that is weird. What happened to his normal Spanish opening? Oh, a mouse slip. Okay, that explains it. He has no idea what to do. Well, I mean, you're playing it okay so far, making all the normal moves. King's Gambit is playable with 2,000 plus rated players. I mean, Krishna, there's this guy called Magnus who played the King's Gambit at the very highest level. In general, most openings are playable, especially with white. You have a bit of leeway. Pythagoras, I don't really enjoy playing games where I lose. I lose plenty of games when playing against the viewers. I don't need to do. I don't need to get opponents of my level to give away tons of rating points. I don't care. Thank you so much for the tier 1 sub. I specifically said white openings, Aquila. Hey Sergey, how are you doing? Okay, we're just gonna try to kill the Ottoman here. We're just gonna push all the pawns, see what happens. Yeah, Miss you. I really enjoy Fortnite. Not always precisely for the reason you mentioned that I'm a potato or other, word for being bad. Um, but yeah, I enjoy it at times, especially when playing with someone else who's approximately my strength. So I've been playing a bit with Hood Fresh the last month, and that has been really, really good. He's a bit better than me, but we make a good team. Do you now understand how we enjoy chess? Sure, we wins, I guess. But yeah, have we had this discussion before? I guess when I complain that chess is a horrible game. But I feel like, yes, I can understand why you guys enjoy chess, but you guys also have to understand how I can hate chess at times. Wing Gambit. Yeah, speaking of Sergey, speaking of terrible openings that are still playable. My opinion, well, terrible opening. I feel like I explained my opinion there. Wow, Hyataman is really generous today. He's both resubbing and giving me all his pieces. That's nice. No one loves chess at all times. Yeah, that would be weird, because that would be so weird. If someone was able to like chess at all times, I think there exists such people, but I think those people very rarely actually play chess. They're like, oh yeah, no, I love chess. I played with my brother when I was 5 years old. And then we can go, yeah, that because everything is better in moderation. And by everything, that also includes chess. I don't think Kovalyev is loving chess right now. Yeah, that is fair. Don't. Oh my gosh. Imagine having lost so many games in a row and then still having to sit down the next day and play more chess against those guys. Oh man, that's rough. Wow, I'm actually kind of worse here. That's disappointing. I once scored 1.5 points out of 9. It was my first ever participation at the very highest level in Norway Chess 2013. And it was the worst thing ever. I tried to hold a brave face. So a lot of people thought that I was fine, but I was not fine. I lost 7 out of 9 games. The less you play, the better it is. No, that's not always true, but yeah, as a general concept, random name. Also, it's very good for a prolonged period of time if you're winning. But it's chess is very closely linked with the result. And not just the game itself. Also kind of my opinion of Vaikanse, this Dutch village where they play the Tata Steel tournament. My opinion of that place is very based on my experience playing the tournament myself, and when I did horrendously back in 2011. And now every time I talk about Vaikanse, I just say it's hell on earth, because it's, Well, partly because it is, but also because I had such bad results there. Erickson, thank you so much for your 2 month resub. Good to see you again as well. Did people discuss your haircut? I tried mentioning it, wee whims. But yeah, thank you. It had to be done. There was a really funny tweet. I'm gonna find that tweet. It was one of my favorite tweets of the entire tournament. Um, there was this girl commenting on a picture of I forget who, but it was seriously funny. Didn't anybody have time to get a haircut before the tournament started, or is Tata Steel chess even longer than I thought? I thought that was very good. I laughed more than once. You can draw this, Noga cause. Aquila is down a pawn in a bishop's endgame. He cannot draw this. That is incorrect information. Wow. Did that screen say that Aquila has scored 1 point against me? Now, every time I play against Aquila, I'm going to be reminded that he actually beat me once. That's pretty rough. Yeah, good game, Aquila. Yeah, your opening was much better than normal. It's still not one of my favorites, though, Aquila. I would say that I recommend putting your pawns in the center, but compared to the Nimsa Witch, I thought this was progress. E4 instead of King F7. Yeah, that's a good. In general, also, it's a good strategy to get rid of as many pawns as possible when you're trying to defend. But I feel like something like Bishop E2, and I still should be winning fairly easily. Because not only do I have this passed pawn on the far side, I can also get my king involved trying to capture these pawns. Yeah, and yeah, my point for this bishop move, Japanese tutor, is also that I want to avoid as many exchanges as possible, right? So if I take this one, then I kind of just incite more exchanges by allowing you to attack my pawn on g2. So I want to go back so that I can offer the bishop exchange and keep the only pawn I have on a light square protected. Is it possible to become a grandmaster without studying theory? Um, I think it's possible, Krishna, but it's probably difficult. You're gonna need some opening knowledge. How close are online ratings to actual ratings? It depends, cause and I mean some internet websites want to be closely linked to like proper ratings, and some kind of don't care. Um, and I disagree with the sentiment that online ratings should try to reflect real life ratings because they're just two completely different systems. And it makes no sense to pretend that they're similar because they're not. Hey, Hood Fresh, how are you doing? I was just talking about you earlier. You automatically learn theory when you play and find out which moves work and which ones doesn't. That's also true, Pizza Racer. That's very true. You can't really get away from it. Are we going to weaken his pawn structure? I think we are. I regret doing that because his king is going to become very active. Adro, thank you so much for the 14-month resub. Fortnite came up? Yes, that is correct, sir. Better side for a beginner? I don't know. Either one is decent, Botel. I heard some rumors. I heard some rumors, Aquila. Olicheza was even saying that he was in my arena game when I was streaming Fortnite earlier this month, which is pretty sick. But on the other hand, it's gonna be so depressing when Fortnite is just another thing Olicheza does better than me. I'm pretty used to it though. I grew up comparing myself to Magnus, and he's better than me at most things. In fact, chess is one of the things where we have the smallest gap in skill level, Magnus and I, which is, I don't think it would be many people's first guess that that's where we're pretty equal. But I believe myself to be a better runner than Magnus, and that's about it. But also, I'm a better Fortnite player than Magnus. Important to have that. That's kind of the main reason for me playing Fortnite. I needed something that where I could be better than Magnus. Better streamer, yeah. At this point, I agree. But I don't know if that's gonna last forever. Better beach volleyball. Well, the thing is, I beat him at beach volleyball, but I am realistic enough to understand that he's probably the better player than me overall. Better at shouting "booyah"? No. Are you crazy? He's the one who got me started with the booyahs. Definitely not better than him at that. Just wait until Magnus retires and streams full time. Yeah. Then I will have another thing I'm not better than him at. Best dabs. Yeah, that's something, Joe. Does Magnus ever play Fortnite? No, thankfully. So I'll keep my edge there. Cooking. Thank you, GM in the DMs. I am a much better cook than Magnus. Good call. Do you really think he would become a streamer someday? No, not really. But on the other hand, anything Hikaru can do, Magnus can do better. So there's that. Maybe he'll get goaded into. I did not play this well. Oh my gosh, I played this so horrendously. I'm blundering all my stuff. I could have won his knight. It's depressing. Come on, make a silly check. Yes. Make silly moves. Oh, it's capturing my stuff. I am ashamed to say that the game has ended in a draw by some luck. I was quicker than him when it mattered, but I also played way more stupid moves when it kind of mattered. Oh my gosh. Alex, thank you so much for the 15-month resub. Wouldn't mind if Magnus goes full Svidler. Yeah. But then we wouldn't have Svidler the same way, I suppose. Okay, what the... Okay, I actually have an incoming challenge. I didn't even notice until now. I have an incoming challenge from Sergei Karyakin. He's actively watching me make draws against 2,000 rated players, and he's challenging me to a game. I don't know, guys. I think I may have to ditch you and play against the former world championship candidate. I mean, if I'm going to be losing, I might as well lose against, someone really good. Oh, Sergei Kar isn't Karyakin? Okay. Who is it then? It sounds very much like Karyakin, I gotta say. Andre something. Well, then he shouldn't be allowed to have that username. How long have you and Magnus been friends? Well, friends is a bit of an interesting term, Vespa. But we've known each other since 2000, 20 years now. Sometimes rivals, sometimes friends. I actually, for a long time when I was young and dumb, I considered Magnus to be my rival. I wasn't really interested in being friends. I thought he was my main competitor. He was a Grandmaster when I had 2000, a 2000 rating, and I was still comparing myself to him. Which is weird, but at the same time, I can't help but feel that it may have helped my progress. Because at least you're setting the bar ridiculously high. Does that mean being polite and eloquent? Maybe it means those things, Alex. But in this context, what I gathered was doing commentary. No, incognito. I will not be at the Racial League Open. When did you realize and stop comparing? I think I was like 16, 17 when I realized that I get to learn from really a phenomenon within chess. Um, so that was good. I'm guessing this is going to be checkmate somehow. When you were 13, you had 2000 elo? Yes, something like that, Red Karu. And was when Magnus was 13, he was a Grandmaster. It was not the best comparison ever. Maiden 3 with a tier 2 sub with a big day anniversary. It's the 24-month resub. That's 2 whole years. Thank you so much, Maiden 3. How are you celebrating the big day? Okay, I mean, this has got to be checkmate, right? Oh, I could have just taken this one. Who cares? Yeah, Hawaiian pan pizza. That's I personally find that moment very embarrassing. But yeah, I did try to use logic reasoning to say that I still had half a year to catch up to Magnus. Let's just say that half a year was not enough to compensate for being 500 points lower rated. Okay, we get the checkmate in the end. John goes down. And now we'll play against Fake Karyakin. No, he left. Maybe just as well. You must have had a big leap in improvement. Well, the thing is, random moves, that at some point you stop going up. I mean, Magnus had to stop at some point, although he did get really far before stopping. Um, but he couldn't keep gaining rating forever. So regardless of whether I had a big leap or not, time was part of the reason I managed to catch up. Because you can't stay. If I keep improving down on like 2300, then he cannot keep that same advantage forever. I'm at work getting paid for watching chess. That's how work should work. How it should be. Maiden 3. Good game, King John. The rivalry with you pushed Magnus that high. Yeah, that's one interpretation. You could also say that my rivalry with Magnus is what got me that high. Could be an alternative interpretation. Who's the highest rated player in history? That's Magnus. He now, today, even after losing some rating points in the Tata Steel tournament, has a higher rating than anyone else has ever achieved. He's pretty good. Kyataman is self-employed. Every minute watching Hammer, I'm losing money. Oh, that is. I sympathize, Kyataman. I feel the same way sometimes. Why did he lose rating points? Yeah, he made more draws than he should. But at the same time, I do want to say that if Magnus had had Fabiano's rating, he wouldn't have lost rating points. A lot of people are trying to make it sound like Magnus had a bad tournament. But in fact, if he was 28-20 to start out the tournament, then he wouldn't have lost any rating points. The reason he's losing rating is because he's so insanely much higher rated than all the other ones. Still working on his no loss streak. Yeah, Alex. That's gonna be our go-to excuse until Magnus wins the tournament. Well, actually, Ericsson, the last couple of months, the rating of the number 5 guy in the world is lower than it has been for like a decade. It's really, very strange. The number 5 rated player, when comparing to the number 5 rated player of previous years, is much lower rated. Nobody behind Ding, Fabian, Magnus had a good 2019. Yes, but even more so, maybe the fact that Magnus and Fabiano had a good 2019 is part of the reason why no one else did, right? Because Magnus and Fabiano needs to get their rating points from somewhere. And it seems to me like they were getting the rating points from the other top guys. And that's why the other top guys are so much lower rated than normal, which is kind of funny. Ding was okay. Ding was doing very good, but I think he just stayed at his. He had a very good rating going into the year, and then he kept his very high rating throughout the year. Um, so my impression is that he didn't really gain anything, but at the same time, he was so high up on ratings that standing still was kind of very good anyway. Candidates will be epic. I'm really looking forward to it, Tal. It's going to be very interesting. Fabiano is looking so strong. Rating isn't everything. I mean, I think the winner of the candidates will agree with you, especially if it's not Fabiano. But other than that, I think the rating system is one of the main perks or kind of one of the things chess does very well and even better than other similar sports activities, stuff like that. Our ranking system based on the chess rating is very, very good. Uh, I've been sitting here for like 3 minutes trying to figure out how I can defend this pawn. I just assumed that I was going to be in a much better position here because I have access to the d5 square, but it's actually not that easy. And I miss my bishop. I miss my bishop so much. Does Magnus need Fabiano to be his Karpov to really cement his legacy? I don't think so. I mean, I personally I consider Magnus the greatest today. So clearly I don't think so. But yeah, it's good to have I don't know. At the same time it's so impressive that he's like no one is even close. Okay, free stuff. Let's take it. Oh, I forgot about this guy. I forgot about that guy. He could have taken that guy. That was a big mistake by him. Now he's just exchanging stuff. Going into an endgame with a pawn down, not really the best strategy. Especially when you had the option of taking the pawn earlier. Do you already consider him as the GOAT? I do, Maddie, but I'm not very. I'm pretty biased. And also, I didn't really live through Kasparov. Because Kasparov was very special. But I'm not really old enough to maybe properly understand how special Kasparov was. But what I think is very clear is that Magnus is the best chess player ever. And then you can have a discussion about whether or not the greatest ever is the person who's the best at the game, or if it's the best compared to his generation or his time. Because that Magnus is better at playing chess than Kasparov, I don't think anyone can dispute that. That's just how it is. I'm getting so many queens. Accurate answer at the very least. Fischer retired many, many years ago, Red Karu. He wasn't playing chess 15 years ago. Ooh, I have some bad memories. Korobov played this line against me, and I lost. The next world champion is probably going to be better than Magnus. Yes, for sure. It's the way of life. You get gradually you learn more about the game or the shoe technology or training ways to train or whatever, right? And you get better, be it running or chess or all other sorts of stuff. The only reason that records aren't broken today in like every single sport is that a lot of the old records were people doping. But other than that, it's they're getting better and better and better. Yeah, maybe you're right, Hyata man, but I don't know. My impression is that that's not how it's being used. And there is like a 20-year period where one player can be better than another, even if they're not from the same kind of even if they didn't compete against each other. What do chess players do when they're out of their prime and retire? That's a good question, Don. And I think to answer your question, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna refer to a fact, which is we have had one top level player retire in the last like 20 years. No, actually 15 years. Ever since Kasparov retired, we have had one other person at that level retire, and that was actually Kasparov's opponent, Kramnik. So I think the answer to your question is that chess players don't really have a plan B. So they just keep playing chess forever and ever and ever and ever. Do you think knowing the history of chess can help you as a player? Yeah, to some extent, yes, I think so, Joe. Um, I know that Magnus is a bit of a chess history freak, but I'm not sure that it's a. Oh, I just blundered, didn't I? I blundered my knight. Oh, this is not good. This is very not good. Very bad. Okay, probably this is gonna work out. I think this is gonna work. I can give a check here, but I don't really like that. Probably it's better though. Playing chess for the rest of your life sounds like hell, but on the other hand, chess players don't really have that amazing life skills otherwise. So we maybe we'll just get stuck. My knights are being very interesting. Oh, I'm losing on time, which is bad. This is not good. Wow. He could have won that piece. That was so silly of him. Ah, I misclicked. Come on. Oh, when I said come on, I thought, oh, please play your king to f5. Go on, please play your king to f5, and he did it. Do you think having a cool nickname like Hammer? It's not even a nickname, chiropractor. It's my name. I got lucky in the naming department. I wish everyone the same luck in parental naming choices as I have had. Famous fucking legends don't retire. That is true, Riata, man. The game must go on. Oh, man. I did not think I was going to win that game. Why isn't there a single round robin tournament? I don't know, Maddie. I don't know. I think it's fine as it is now. I really like the fact that we've had the same system for finding the challenger to the World Championship title. We've had the same system now for many years in a row, which I think the predictability and the stability of our current method for finding a challenger to the World Championship title, I think it's very good. It's the best it's been in many decades. Ah, yeah, that's true, Flo. There used to be round robin Grand Prix, and they were not super entertaining. I was actually part of one of those Grand Prix series. Everyone was just very happy if they managed to win a game or two. Actually, no, I played a Swiss system, which was actually even worse than the round robins. Because in the Swiss system, you would have like two guys who were happy with being on plus score playing against each other. And so the number of draws on the top boards were insane. Are there ever any fixed position GM tournaments? No, I don't think so. But I know that it's one of the favorite suggestions of Peter Heine Nielsen. Um, but unfortunately, I should have taken the knight first. For some reason, I started thinking that he was going to take with the rook anyway, regardless of what I did, and so it made me allow him to take with the knight. Let's see. Can I play b4? If b4, if he moves the knight, I can take the bishop. But I can also take the pawn in the middle, which is kind of tempting. There's a pretty big possibility of the bishop and queen and rook trying to work together against my king. Yeah, let's just take this one, hope for the best. Ooh, that's a pretty old MoveBot command, isn't it? Let's see if we can take that out. Yeah, really, Maddie? I don't remember that. Was it like a top tier tournament? I think it could be interesting. I would love to see it. I would also love to see more blindfold tournaments. In general, there's a lot of things I would like to see. Yeah, Hiataman, I thought his wins were pretty nice. He was disappointed himself though. He thought that he didn't really do anything special to win those games. But he's a tough customer. It's very difficult to impress him, even for himself. He's he's very demanding. He demands a lot from himself. Yeah, I really miss Melody Amber. Do you think playing blindfolded can help your chess? Yes, Smate. I think playing blindfolded is an excellent way of training your ability to visualize the board in your head. So it's one of my top tips actually. Is this checkmate? It's pretty close. I guess we'll make a check, see what happens. I guess I'm gonna have to take back this bishop at some point. Might as well do it now. Other top tips in general. We have a command. Smate. Okay, maybe it's just improvement. I don't remember my own commands. Feels bad. You're surprised I've been giving away my bishops? I see that I don't have my bishop, but I don't really know how that happened. I think in this game I gave away my bishop to win a pawn. And while I do like the bishop pair, I also really like grabbing pawns. So maybe we'll have to get an emote for that. My king is actually very well protected. I think I can just push the pawns up the board. What is the most accurate move here? Maybe this? What did you think about Firouja's second half in Tata? Well, it was unfortunate. It was pretty unfortunate. But once you start losing at that level, it's so difficult to recover. There's not really much you can do. It was kind of the same with Kovalyev. I mean, the guy's not a bad player, but once you start losing in that field, you're in big trouble. Hungarian opening, I don't really know what that is, Everlongs. Checkmate. He needs better seconds. Well, he's a 16-year-old boy. He does. I'm assuming he doesn't really have seconds. I mean, at that age, you're supposed to kind of discover chess for yourself and try out lots of different things. Something I will say about Firouzja is that the number of decided games he had was insane. There were no draws there. He was really fighting every single game, even after he started losing, he kept on playing very aggressive openings. And for instance, against Magnus, one of the things we discussed and something we also brought up with Magnus is that when he was half a point ahead of Magnus with the white pieces, he could have tried to kill the game. But he didn't because he really believed in his own abilities and he wanted to play a proper game against the world champion. And while I think Firouzja, if he wanted to, he was able to pretty kill off the game against Magnus, but he chose not to, which says a lot about his character and that while it didn't work out for him in this instance, then long term at least, that's going to be a huge help. Solomka with the 1 year anniversary. Thank you so much for your resub. Magnus game was brutal. Yeah, it was very brutal. But that's the other thing. By playing that game, instead of just trying to force a draw, by playing that game, he exposed himself to the fact that he needs to work on his Spanish middle games. Because that was really outrageous, his performance there. And sometimes when you're 16 years old, it's good to discover your weaknesses so that you can correct them. I know a lot of my weaknesses, but I can't really correct them because I'm kind of set in my ways. But Ferrugia is gonna, he still has lots of improvement yet to come, and now he knows where to focus his energy. Wasn't it similar to Magnus's first Vike? Yeah, no, I think Flohl has the right info there. Magnus's first try in Vaikansea was really poor, much worse than this one. Why are you not playing Gibraltar? Gibraltar, I mean, number one, it's expensive and all of that, and they don't offer um, benefits like free hotel and stuff like that. Is what I heard. Um, but also, it clashes with the Tata Steel, where I've been doing commentary, and they don't allow everyone who wants to play in the tournament. The tournament is so packed that they have to say no to people who want to play. That's how popular the Gibraltar tournament is. Which is just as well because it's not popular with me, and so I choose not to play. What kind of puzzles do you recommend to solve daily? Smate Tactics Frenzy is a good suggestion. Just I mean, I'm not sure what you mean by what kind of puzzles, but as long as you're solving some puzzles, that's a good start. I think it's easier for me to explain kind of how much time it should take you. So it should be puzzles where you do not spend more than 2 minutes. If you're spending more than 2 minutes solving the puzzle, then it's not good for you. You need to be able to solve a lot. And that's going to be different for like grandmasters and title players. But for most people, the most important thing is to solve many puzzles quickly instead of solving some very difficult puzzles slowly. Because you need to expose yourself to all of the different themes and ideas. If they have Lawrence Trent, well, Lawrence is a special case, I'm sure. I know that a lot of the Norwegian youngsters wanted to play, but were denied. So, for instance, Ayantari wanted to play in Gibraltar, but wasn't allowed to play because they were full. I haven't seen it, Maddie. I'll check it out after the stream. Wow, Halvard, Johannes only needs 1.5 points to get a GM norm. That's really good. Tari in Norway chess hasn't been discussed. Ooh, hasn't it, Hyataman? Wow. I haven't streamed in a long time, huh? Do you want to start the subject? Or I can give you the information. Aryan Tari will be playing the Norway chess tournament. He has been invited. It's the first time the organizers invite a player since their first edition. well, invite a player with a low rating since the first edition. And since then, they have had some qualification schemes. But yeah, overall, a big moment that they're deciding that they want to have more local participation. Yeah, Midnight Fox. I did see Trent's game against Abrigo. I don't really understand stuff like that. I like beating guys in end games instead of such attacks. What do you think about the chess bras stealing our Antari from the Norway gnomes? Ooh, good question. I would say I don't hold it against Eric that he's trying to reinforce his squad. I do, however, feel like Aryan has ditched his teammates. So yeah, what are you gonna do? Okay, so Ericsson, I remember losing to this guy a couple of times when he had an 1800 rating. But now we can see that he's actually been a pretty decent player this whole time. He was sailing with a false flag. Oh, Aquila, you're never gonna let that go, are you? Oben declined. Yeah, I'm such a wimp. I'm I'm very I see people trying to get me into some pretty complicated opening scheme with attacks for both sides, and I just say no, not for me. But I'm also unhappy about how this has gone. This is not great. Okay, let's just take this and see what happens. Ah, Queen E7. Oh man. Bra is a state of mind and more important than home country allegiance. Well, I don't think Vila that Aryan is a bra. But maybe you've seen some post game match interviews that can refute my statement. But if the chess bras are only recruiting bras, I'm not sure Aryan is your guy. He's very vanilla. Oh wow, Super Saiyan also coming in with the Aryan Sabra. No, he's very vanilla. What are you talking about? Vanilla bra is also bra. Okay. I see. I stand corrected. Is Aryan more of a bra than Alexandra? Of course not. I don't think anyone's more of a bra than Alexandra. I could see Hammer being a bra. Your imagination is greater than mine, Ali. Do you still coach Alexandra? No, not really. We decided to take a break to kind of assess, and then the assessment period has taken longer than we were kind of planning to. I'm liking my position more and more. He's gonna have to correct my pawn structure. That's nice. There has been this thing lately where, in several cases, we're evaluating the two rooks, the queen being worth more than the two rooks. I don't know if this was one such case, but I tried and he didn't really want to debate whether the queen was in fact more valuable. Norway over Italy this week in PCL Fantasy. That sounds like a big mistake, Vila. Big mistake. I was actually checking the other teams in our division, and I mean it's not even interesting. France is like so much better than all the other teams. Unreal. Okay, this is gonna be weird. You don't get to flag me. Ulan, thank you so much for gifting a sub to Hans, our new gnome. The designated gnome streamer, Mr. Saucy Moke. Thank you so much, Ulan. What happened to the gnomes this year? They changed the rules. Word. I don't know, Chigas. I'm pretty good at chess and I still don't know how to play with the two rooks. I'm starting to think that the queen is just very undervalued, especially in practical play. Because even if the two rooks are objectively better than the queen, it's so much easier to kind of coordinate your queen and find the right moves in when you're in time trouble and stuff like that. We had a host from Chess24, which I didn't shout out. Maybe it's a long time ago. Thank you, Chess24, anyway. CJ, yeah, well, I didn't cut my hair too short, but a guy did. And I think the reason it had to become this short is because I had cut it myself. And he discovered it in like 2 seconds. Well, actually less than that. He was like, he went to the area where I had, gone crazy with the scissor. And he was like, did you cut this yourself? And I was like, yes, but I'm here so that you're going to fix it for me. That's what I told him. And I think he fixed it for me as best he could. It's going to grow out again. It's going to be too long for some time. It's going to be too short for some time. But most of the time, it's going to be about right. In about 2 weeks' time. Thank you, Weeb. Yeah, there's no curly hair when you have it this short, which makes it much easier to navigate. Ericsson has jumped the queue. I'm sorry I didn't discover it quickly enough, But right after this game, we'll get a rematch against Ericsson. Uh, that was strange. I'm pretty sure he just blundered a pawn, and then to pretend as if that pawn blunder was intentional, he gave me another pawn. What a guy. You gotta save up. Those hammers are valuable, as you can see. You can jump the queue with them. Most valuable item. Luckily, my hairdresser doesn't share your philosophy, Piata man. CJ, thank you for the 100 bits. How are you doing? Oh, really, Piata man? You're gonna do that to me? Oh man. I think some of the girls at TwitchCon were actually trying to get that Amaroth this signature or something. I don't remember who it was, but I remember that Maria definitely had gotten the signature of I think, or gotten something signed by that girl or someone similar. Sergey, you can try to use your channel points just like Ericsson, and I'll let you skip the queue even though you've already played a game. You think you're happy? Yeah, I feel you. I'm not really sure how I feel either. I was feeling okay when I got up this morning. I got stuff done for like 3 hours, but then I fell a bit together. Couldn't do anything. Corrales is going down. Now he's going to have to move the knight back where it came from. And you know what? I'm so greedy this game. I'm just going to take another pawn. Who cares? YOLO. Take pawns. Ha, I'm glad you like the repertoire, Super Saiyan. Ooh, I cannot take this one because of the fork. Whoever decided that clicks can decide your moves should be shot. I really I have no sympathy. That is such an outrageous decision. You should just be put to death. I was nowhere close to moving my piece there. The only thing I did wrong was that I had clicked a different piece earlier. Outrageous. Spent too much time with Alex. Oh no, I think that's just spending too little time yelling at programmers. If I spent more of my time yelling, then that wouldn't have happened. That would have been fixed a long time ago. I did not do an oopsie, CJ. The program did an oopsie on my behalf. Oh man, and now he did an oopsie. This man is voluntarily trying to get checkmated. Okay, we're gonna try to be tricky here. I haven't given up on this game just yet. I still have the bishop pair. Wow, he gave away the queen for nothing. He could have just moved the queen. This man is a maniac. He could have just moved the queen. Instead, he said, let's go into a losing position with a pawn down. My queen is under attack. I can move the queen. No, let's just go into a losing position with a pawn down. Thank you, Joe. Oh man, that man is crazy. Queen takes f5. What was wrong? Nothing was wrong with that move, Dodgemon. I am flustered that he did not play it. I am very confused. See, at least I get the Botes Gambits right, you know? At least I am of the kind that can do the Botes Gambit right. It's not that many moves ago I was down a queen for a bishop. Here I'm up a rook and an exchange 10 moves later. That's how I play. Rook takes e5 smooth. You like that, did you, Joe? You like that. Oh, I like that as well. Oh my gosh. So what happened? So what happened is that I clicked my queen and moved it over the pawn, preparing to make this move. Okay, this is the play-by-play what happened. I clicked the queen in order to drag her over the pawn and take it. But then I changed my mind. I moved the queen back to its original position and I let go of my clicky thing. And then to demonstrate to you guys why I did not take that pawn, I clicked the knight with the idea that I was going to move the knight after clicking it to this g6 square to illustrate how it could get a fork. So let's do again what happened. I clicked the queen, preparing to make a move, changed my mind, and now I let go of the queen. I wanted to click the knight to demonstrate a move it could make, and boom. And I had the same, I lost a game in the Pro Chess League for this very same reason. And I don't know how it works on Chess24, but on chess.com you can choose whether or not you want to drag your moves or whether you want to click your moves. And even when I want to drag my moves, this happened to me on chess.com. Even after I had specifically chosen a setting in which this should not happen, it still happened. Some savages prefer click to move. I don't know what's wrong with the world, Chris. We should just remove that option entirely because we don't need those people. If there are people in the world who choose to click on the piece they want to move and then click on the square they want to move to, We don't need those people playing chess. They can go play battleships or something. We don't need them. We shouldn't really account for. We shouldn't program with their interests at heart. At Chess, that is a user setting. You say so, GB, but that is also a user setting in other places, and it does not work even when you do the user settings. Can you disable click to move? I know that you can do it on chess.com and it still doesn't work. I don't know if you have that option on chess24. You actually prefer click move now. Jolly Bishop, we don't need you in the chess community. We're not gonna make our programs for those crazies making the clicks to move. Click to move prevents mouse slip. That is the most ironic statement in my chat ever. I very literally just lost my queen to a mouse slip because of the click to move. And you have the audacity to come in here and say that click to move prevents mouse slips. Shame on you, sir. How many players in Norway have about 2,600? It's 3 people word. 3 people. Mr. Mouselip, sir. You feel summoned, but I just want to assure you that I have this situation completely in hand. I don't need your help. I'm raging very well on my own. I don't know, Hiyata, man. I really liked my battleship reference. That was some really good thinking in my mind. In my opinion. If you want to click, you can go play battleships. I was very happy with that. One of my better rages. That was good, don't ruin it. Nah, it's fine. I'm just gonna post the clip. No one's gonna know that I was bragging about my own raging afterwards. It's just you guys. You're not that many, are you? Yeah, you're just 200 guys. That's fine. The big masses are not gonna be there for the self joke analysis. You nearly left to go battle. I almost never played battleships. Is it actually a good game? It seems a bit silly. It seems as though in battleships there's absolutely no skill involved. Like, not just a low threshold of skill. I mean, like, no skill whatsoever. It's a step above tic-tac-toe. Wow. Yeah. That's not the biggest endorsement I've ever heard. Aw, CJ, that's too bad. We did okay. He wants to take my knight. I'm actually considering letting him take it. It's all about Connect 4. Honestly, Omid, Connect 4 at the very least has quite a bit of skill. But I don't fully recall. I think you need to... Connect 4 is not the best one. you either have to add a couple of layers or add a couple of something needs to be added for Connect 4 to be its full potential. But you want to see Hammer on Family Feud? You have to give some context, GM, in the DMs, because in Norway we don't have Family Feud. So you need to explain to us what makes that show unique and why in particular you think having me on that show would be great. Okay, it's time to get a little bit desperate. Partly because we're losing on time. And partly because... No, it's just about the losing on time thing. Oh, that's not good. I'm very close to getting a new queen. He's very close to giving checkmate. I am getting a new queen. Wow, he just resigned. It's kind of disappointing. I was ready to show off my flagging skills once again. We do have Family Feud in Norway. Do we, Shartan? Yeah, no, that's the one I've seen clips of on YouTube, Hiata Man. Familieduellen. The thing is also, I haven't seen a TV show in forever. I watch TV series on the streaming thingies, but actually watching something on a TV, I haven't done that in a long time. So I don't really know what shows are on. The Mexican version is called 100 Mexicans Said. Yeah, that's way more descriptive, Hiata Man. Honestly, I like that name better. It's commercials with a side of TV these days. Yeah. In Norway, it's become like that. In the US, it's been that way the entire time. My family lived in the US in 99, and we did not watch TV at all. We couldn't do it. Opinion on pineapple on pizza? Geppa cheese, I realize this is going to be a contested issue, and my view on this hot political topic might chase some of my viewers away. But I'm going to say pineapple is always good. Pineapple is just good. You going for 3,000 rating? No, Wolverine. We're not going to get anywhere close to 3,000 today. We're losing too many games. E-Track, thank you so much for the sub. I've been doing this for a long time now, and it's not that often we get new people subscribing. I really appreciate it, E-Track. Stand up for the pineapples. Well, you guys know. I mean, I have coached my chat on this a couple of times, but we're gonna do it again. Whenever you meet Magnus, please tell him that uh, pineapple is the broccoli of fruits, and you will unlock a new level with him. He's gonna look at you strangely, and he's gonna say, "Oh, okay, I see where you're coming from. This c5 move is ridiculously strong. I'm very happy with this." Look at what I did. Look at this. I'm I'm really very good at chess. Okay, I didn't see queen d4, but probably there's a bishop here. Trouble. So c5. Basically, I lured his bishop from protecting his king to having to go up to e3. And it's not going to work out well for the guy with the black pieces here. Check. Did any of you guys in chat, have you ever played Chess Master? That's how old I am. Josh Watskin. Yes. You still play Chess Master. Wow. I remember as a kid, I organized tournaments with the computers playing against each other. I wasn't even playing chess myself. I was basically practicing becoming a chess tournament director. I guess that's how you know you found your thing. Okay, I'm very unhappy about the way I played this. But I think we'll manage. Battle chess. I heard someone talking about battle chess, Ulan, but I haven't fully understood. I think actually it was Nepomniachtchi who mentioned battle chess to me, but I'm not sure what it is. I guess that's something, Aquila. 2001. Yeah, that sounds about right, Pawn Masseur. Hey, Dirk. Amiga. Wow. I don't know what that is. Never more or less. Thank you so much for your Twitch Prime. Ooh, we have a move. Which means we should make a move. I'm not really sure what to do. It's very annoying that this pawn protects the... I was actually planning to go rook f7, but I changed my mind. Toyfelhunden, thank you so much for the 10-month resub. Oh, that was a really bad move. Ooh, he's threatening checkmate. Thank you so much for the sub. Every time you hit a piece, it took seconds to load the animation. Wow, those were the days. Rook F1 was quite bad. I thought it was pretty good, Dodgemon. I thought it was pretty good. I was happy with that choice. Because Queen D3, there's no way he can protect the piece. If he moves the piece, then Queen G3 is just checkmate. So, I don't know. I thought it was pretty good. The animation itself was 10 to 30 seconds. Wow. Can you like still play it on a modern computer? Is it still like in the Steam store? I feel like I've seen it pop up for suggested stuff in the Steam store. Explore. Battle chess. It's not working here. Battle chess. Haha, you can still get it in the Steam store. Maybe I should check it out. What makes it special? Wow, that's very old school. I'll post it in chat, just in case. Yes, Dirk, new haircut. It's still gonna be pretty new next tomorrow as well, which is when we will resume this session of playing games. I'm back home from Bergen. I've been doing commentary of the Tata Steel tournament, in which Fabiano Caruana was the very well-deserved winner. I'm going to be streaming every day this week. It's pretty exciting. Next stream is going to be tomorrow at 7 p.m. Oslo time. That's 1 p.m. Eastern. And I'll be streaming at that same time on Wednesday and on Friday. So mark your calendars, get some games in. Let's have some discussions about pre-moves and good chess moves and other things we come up with. Yes, Bloby, you're late because I don't care. I don't really want to compete with Hikaru and stuff if they're streaming for the Pro Chess League. So I was planning to go offline now, and then we shall find someone to raid, and we will be raiding Mr. I am Rosen. Thanks everyone for watching. Have a good evening, and I hope to see you tomorrow.
I have some clarifying.
Oh, I had sound on my Twitch front page. But it's okay. We're gonna send you to Eric. And once I find the chat, it's bye, guys. Oh, raid was redeemed? Wow, Red Karu with the first ever redeem of who we're gonna raid, which is a brilliant concept because then I don't have to figure out who to raid myself. And Red Karu is suggesting we raid Lille Koridze, and that's what we're gonna do. Thank you so much for the redeem, Red Karu, and have a nice day, everyone.